my hands in there? You're going to have to, maybe we'll, ready? Good enough. We'll just roll with that. That should be the start of it right there for you.
Yeah.
That's how we started it.
Yeah, so apparently you need to clap when you start. Oh, look who's here.
And
wow.
no, we were.
Wow.
Well, you did.
You did walk in
yeah,
on
we were
us.
waiting on
Hello,
you.
welcome back to our podcast. Dad is coming in with
I wouldn't
pillow.
sit any higher because I think what's going to happen is your head's going to be out of the frame.
Well, that might be a good thing.
Why?
Make the ratings go up. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, another joke. I love
Man.
it. Love it.
Can't get one by me.
Oh, still.
Oh, yeah, you're still in there.
Feels good.
Yeah,
That's
solid.
better. Good deal.
Yeah.
I got a back rest too.
That's
now.
nice.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, we already did. You're late to the party.
Well, for those of you who didn't listen last week, I'm sure you all listened in last week. I've been under the weather, and so I had to go take some medicine.
Oh.
And I need to elevate myself a little bit because this chair was sitting too low. And I know that you want to promote yourself, and that's why you want to sit higher. But I think humility is something you still need to keep working on. And so now I think we're good. We're about the same height. Okay, go for it. And where did we leave off last week?
So, first of all, our guest today is our returning guest from last week. His name is Gabe, and he is one of the producers for our TV show.
I wasn't a producer.
Well, okay, so
she keeps saying the word producer.
Okay, in my
that's,
mind.
That's not the term. Let's just clarify this.
Okay.
Okay.
A producer, director?
I was one of the on-site directors. One of the directors on set.
A director, then.
One of them. Yes.
Yes.
So when you see the little clacker,
the little clipboardy thing, yep,
the
has
little
your
clacker,
name, your last name, the
yep,
other last name,
yep,
the scene number,
yes,
how many
exactly.
takes. I'm
and
learning
the producers
a lot of things.
were the Sailor Brothers.
Correct.
Right.
So
the sailors.
I guess in my mind,
See, she's just like stealing the show. You know what I mean? Upstate,
right.
Making things sound better than they really are. I mean, like you're just a cameraman, basically.
Just a cameraman.
I mean,
yeah.
And the Sailor Brothers are. Go ahead. They're the Sailor Brothers are the real producers of the first 5 episodes.
yes, and they're great people. They're just not here to talk to us.
Don't get. I mean, no, they're gonna watch this.
Okay.
I mean, you know how many fans we have. We have so many fans. It's not even funny. But they're all gonna watch, and they're gonna watch us over, and they're gonna say, "Oh, there's Gabe trying to take our job from us."
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That's what's gonna happen, and then you're in trouble.
Okay. This is my formal invitation to Kyle and Kenny Sailor. We would love to have you on our podcast. We were just texting yesterday about how we're excited for season 2 and how we had this awesome conversation. Maybe we should just start here. So
let me jump in real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This is something that I didn't know, and this you'll only learn this after a period of time, or because you learn it because you look them up online. There's an S at the end of sailor.
Sailors.
Sailors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle and Kenny.
Sailors.
Sailors. So it's Sailors Brothers, which for the first year that I knew them, I thought their last name was Sailor without the S.
Yeah.
But it's not. And it's actually spelled Saylor.
Yeah.
Not sailor like Navy sailor.
Correct.
So their last name, if you talk to one of them, their last name is Sailors with an S.
But if you talk to one, you're really talking to both. What kind of medicine are you taking, man?
We just had to cut because he said something totally off the cuff. He's on drugs apparently now. His medicine is kicking in.
Legal drugs, legal.
I'm going to be taking over the podcast.
Okay,
You're just
go
going to
ahead.
sit there.
I'll
talk to
take
Gabe.
a little
You
nap
just
again.
listen. Okay. So we hired the Sailors Brothers to produce our show. And then they hired out different guys to do different jobs. So there was the clapper guy who also did a lot of...
The clapper guy?
Yeah, like that.
That's his official title. He's the clapper guy. He turns the lights on and off.
He had so many jobs. He was like the runner. He ran and got all of...
And his name was Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Raymond. He was the PA, the production assistant.
Okay.
As well as the lighting guy, as well as...
the clapper guy.
Help me get my camera rig on guy, as well as the clapper guy. Yeah.
And was like the father figure, in my opinion, from observing the crew, because most of the crew stayed together in the same house.
Sure.
He just is such a solid guy. Like, I just loved getting to know him and observe him interacting with everybody. And he's just, I don't.
If I was allowed to speak, I would say he was my favorite guy.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Nice
Well,
personality.
this has
Yeah,
been a great interview. Thanks for
Wow.
having me.
So, it's not all about you, Gabe.
Wow. You know,
You're here to explain who everybody is right now in this moment. So we talked about Raymond. There's another video guy, or not producer, director.
he
There's
was
another director.
camera B.
Yep.
Yep.
And he had a lot of experience on different shows, Live PD,
Yep.
HGTV shows, House Hunters. Super friendly. I mean, I truly loved the whole crew. Like, everybody
Yeah.
that came was awesome. So you got a call, I'm assuming, from the Sailors brothers one day out of the blue?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I met them, you know, not by happenstance. It was, you know, it was one of those situations. I truly believe that, you know, God was like, hey, here's that path like we talked about on the last one. You know, like if you do this thing that I'm asking you to do, I'm going to set you on this path, and, you know, you just kind of have to go with it. And so I was getting rid of a camera, like a little bitty gimbal camera, like yay big, little travel camera.
Okay.
And I was on Marketplace, and this guy sends me a message. He's like, hey, would you take $200 for that? And I was like, man, I don't care. I don't really want the thing. So he's like, all right, I'll be there in an hour. And so he drives down, and we're outside and we're talking. And at this point, I've done, like, film-wise, at this point, I had done just some, like, gun company commercial type stuff and some things for a little Harley shop, you know, not little, they're big, but some stuff for the Harley shop, and more corporate. And I think I'd only done like a music video at that point. And so, being a Marine, I'm like, you know, my head's all the way in the game at this point. Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be a filmmaker. And so I meet this guy, and I'm like, so what do you do, man? What do you need this camera for? He's like, oh, I'm a filmmaker. And I'm like, oh, cool, me too. I'm like, so what kind of stuff do you do? He's like, oh, you remember the Rebel stuff back in the early 2000s? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, we did all that. And I'm like, really? And so then I'm like, oh, this guy's a real filmmaker, right? Like, this guy's a real, and he's like, yeah, we had a documentary that went to Sundance with Robert Redford. And I'm like, oh, this guy's he's legit. Like, he's a real filmmaker. And we got to talking a little bit more. And he was like, man, you seem pretty cool. I've got this thing called Dinner with Dreamers, you know, that I do in all these different countries and states. And it was really cool. This big get together of just people that he's met over the years, and he just keeps adding on to the group. And so he's like, you should come check it out one night. And so I went and checked it out, and made a few connections, and then just kind of started being friends with him. We just became friends, and he would be working on a project, and we'd get invited to come out and help out, move lights around and watch and stuff. And then shot a couple music videos, and I don't know, I guess they liked the way that I shot stuff, or me as a person, or a combination of both. And I got a phone call one day, hey, we're going to shoot this, you know, TV show up in Pennsylvania. Can you come up and run a camera? And I was like, sure, why not? And so we ended up here.
And you actually drove with them.
I did. Yeah. Wait, did I ride? No. Did I ride all the way up here with those guys?
I feel like you did, because when they arrived, that was the first time I ever met them in person. They got out of the car, and you were in the back of the car, so I feel like you rode with them? Or did you fly and they pick you up?
No, I did ride up here. Yeah, I did.
It's kind of a long drive to not remember.
but you don't understand, is I have driven a lot, and I have been to every state except Alaska.
Wow.
And I've driven or been on a Harley through those states.
Wow.
And Canada and Mexico. So I travel so much that I really can't tell you if I drove or flew. I flew home. I remember flying home because I went to Philadelphia, and I got to see the birthplace of the Marine Corps. Because I'm a Marine, that's a huge thing, is seeing Ton Tavern, which was, you know, 1775. And so I did. I met them at the Johnny Cash farm.
Okay.
In Nashville, and we took my trailer and we put it on the back of a 4Runner, and we drove all the way up here. I do remember that now. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, cool.
I actually thought I flew for some reason, probably because I flew home.
Yeah.
Because I had to get back for a music video. I think I had a music video
No,
shoot.
you had a concert.
Oh, I had a concert. That's why I had to go home.
You went home, got your son. You took him with you, right?
That's right. I did. I took my son with me to California. We played a concert, which was a lot of fun. I took him to Marine Corps boot camp in San Diego, which is where I went. For all of you PI Marines, everybody knows the real Marines are in San Diego. There's this rivalry between the West Coast boot camp and the East Coast boot camp. But everybody knows the Hollywood Marines are way better than the PI Marines. So if you're a Marine and you see this, or you have a family member who's a Marine and they went to Parris Island, you know. So I think we lost your dad entirely.
Totally
or
fine.
He's just waiting for a way to cut in.
That's totally fine.
I wonder what kind of... He must have been hitting the cough syrup pretty hard.
No, he's totally awake.
He was hitting some hard cough syrup over there. It's like I went in for my medicine.
I can't talk because I'm sick and my drugs got me off. So
he's saying things he's not supposed to say.
Doing what I'm saying.
Quiet.
I'm doing what I'm told.
Be quiet.
He hit the chloroseptic a little too hard.
Okay. Wow.
That's that's pretty accurate.
I was going to say you may agree, you may disagree, but that is not the point of this.
But
podcast.
I don't care if you agree or disagree. Watch the news. The guy can't figure it out. I think one of my favorite things that he said, though, let's be honest here, because the guy says some great things, right? Some memorable moments. Like, one of my favorite ones is the words that he comes up with, like true international under pressure.
Say that again for me.
True international under pressure. That is a word that he came up with in a speech. Nobody knows what it means.
Well, you memorized it. That's impressive.
Because it's one of those words that, we, at least back in the day, Bush came up with his own words too, right? Right? Strategery. Yeah. Still used throughout the military to this day. Yeah. As an act of strategy, you use strategery. Great word. True international under pressure. No idea when that's going to be used for anything other than this kind of commentary. So
talking about memorable moments, do you have any moments with filming with us that stick out in your mind?
Yeah, there's quite a few because aside from filming it, I ended up editing it as well, and so as I'm going through the editing process, I'm remembering as I see things, and I'm like, oh, there's that thing. Some of the stuff that is really great will probably never make it to air. Right,
because it's inappropriate. Dad says things, and you're like, "Where's the filter, Dad? Why did you say that?"
Oh, no, I don't swear.
No, it's just he just has it's a form of verbal diarrhea. It's like it's like verbal dysentery. It's uncontrollable.
Hey, I can just leave now. Go to bed and sleep on my drugs here.
The door is that.
So, a memorable moment. What would be one?
That you can share.
That I could share.
So many times.
I think one of my favorite things was aside from we did a lot so quick. Like we were 10 to 12 hours a day nonstop, which is typical. With filming, even in the music video business, we 10, 12 hours later we're done. I think one of the things that I really enjoyed for me was your guys' relationship. To see not just the banter between the two of you, but the genuine love that happens between the father and the daughter, right? Because I have a daughter, and so for me that was very that's the most memorable thing for me is the relationship value that happens. But fun stuff, I think, trying to get you just to say we are flipping farms. I think that was probably one of the best because we sat there and went through it like 10 times. All right, Jeff.
10? You're being very generous.
Here's what we're doing. All right, Jeff. All you got to do is say, we are flipping farms. And anyway, hey, I'm Rachel. Hey, I'm Jeff, and we're farm flipping. or something that wasn't even farm flipping. So I think going through that there's a lot of great stuff in there. I think that we'll end up doing some sort of a blooper reel. Because there's so many good moments there, and then like her reactions to things that you say, her facial expressions. She's not she's not a poker player.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I could be.
I wouldn't call her a poker player because she has these very animated reactions to the things that are happening, you know? And then another great moment, I think, is probably when we talk about the dresser. The dresser.
You went there.
The dresser is a great editing moment. It's a great show moment. I can't wait for people to see that part of it. But the dresser is very exciting for me because there's like this light bulb that goes off, and then she goes, "Oh, the dresser."
So the part that did not make it in that episode was what Dad said leading up to the dresser, and he tells me for the first time ever while we have cameras and a crew in front of us that there was a design that I did that he didn't like. And I was so confused. I'm like, what design did I do that you didn't like? And he
it
goes
was the
way
dresser.
back.
And it was the dresser. Don't tell him about it all the way.
No, I'm not going to say anything, but
it was
that
the
didn't make the cut?
Not that portion of it. There was a part of it that did, but I let it in a different way.
You're very observant.
Disappointed.
You saw the episode like
three
times.
I mean, I've only sent the episode over how many times?
He's only seen it like 3, but still.
He's probably just fast forwards when you're talking, so he can just see himself. He's like, I already know what she says.
Yeah.
How'd I do it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. It looks good. All right. Oh no, there was a lot of great moments. I think, you know, when we were trying to find places, like we tried to find.
I cannot wait for that to come out. That episode.
There's so much that I want to say, but I can't
know,
because
right?
it's gonna wreck it.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of fun moments that happen, and there's the one thing about this show that I realize as we're going through the edit is, you know, we're flipping a farm, we're renovating. But it's really the relationship. That's what the real story is.
Yeah.
It's you guys, you know, and what's happening here. And you're both such great characters on the show that it's actually fun because we didn't have to invent you, right? I mean, you are who you are, you know, and I think it just works really well.
Yeah, I'd agree. Cool. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. I'm ready to do this full time. I'm ready to do this season 2. Like, we need to crank out these 5 episodes. So I feel like you want to say something.
Well, I agree that it was way more enjoyable than I expected. Okay, because I was afraid that I would have to memorize lines, and you know I'm not good at that. I mean, I can't even put 3 words together, you know, when I need to memorize them. But just ad-libbing it was so much fun. And the content was like just coming. Like we didn't have a content creator other than just a little bit to say a line or two.
Yeah, we just structured along. I mean, this honestly, in most of the time in reality shows are not reality. Right? Like they're very much fictional reality.
Right.
But with this one, I mean, it's 100% real.
Yeah.
Like we didn't write lines for you guys. We didn't structure, except for We Are Flipping Farms, which.
And that didn't work.
It didn't work very well.
Yeah.
No, I think actually, let me remind myself. I think we were trying to get you to say something different, and then we just had to turn it into "We Are Flipping Farms."
And then you kept changing it on me, and then the whole thing is, okay, Rachel, you just say the whole thing, and I just say yeah or something. And I just
because you couldn't even say your name at one point. You forgot your name.
I was tired. It was at the end of the day, and I was tired. Excuses, but
so she was going, "I'm Rachel," and then she was going to go, "This is my dad, Jeff." Because you couldn't remember your name at one point. It was really funny.
So there was a couple spots when we were doing that. We were sitting up in the makeshift studio we had, and you had one camera, and Devin was at the other camera, and then the two the Sailor brothers, they were sitting in the couch.
Yep.
On the couch, asking us questions, okay? And we were responding. They would say, oh, tell us a little bit about blah, 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 and then we would talk about it stuff. And I remember a couple of times that we were laughing, or we said something really funny a couple of times. It was so funny that everybody's laughing except Gabe. Gabe kept his composure. And then there was one time I said something, he actually lost it. I said, now that must have been funny to get Gabe to laugh.
Yeah,
You're so in the zone with what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I'm hyper focused. You know? So, but I also am a poker player.
Are you?
Yeah, I do enjoy poker.
So we know what we're doing after dinner tonight.
Oh, I love poker. One of my favorites. So I have taken trips to Hawaii because of poker games. I like playing against lawyers. They're my favorite.
Wow.
Because lawyers just lie. That's all they do. And so you can go and you know that they're bluffing half the time anyway because it's what they do for a living is bluff.
Yeah. Lawyers and politicians.
Lawyers and politicians,
thing.
yeah. So
they lie and
But that's I do. I played a lot of poker.
Like up the river, down the river. Did you ever play that one?
I play 5-card draw.
Okay.
Texas Hold'em.
Queens and after.
No, Texas Hold'em is really where
baseball.
I got into it.
Okay.
I used to watch like the World Series of Poker.
Okay, so you don't do wild cards.
No.
Okay, all those things I mentioned are wild cards.
Yeah, I don't do any of the wild card stuff. Pretty
I'm
straight
pretty
through.
sure wild cards are for people who aren't very good at the card game.
I don't know. I mean,
saying.
wild cards probably have their place.
When I was like, this is a true story. I was like 16 years old. When somebody says this is a true story, it's like, yeah, they're lying. No, it really happened. I was like 16, 17 years old. My dad and we would go once a week over to my cousin. It was a husband and wife, and we would play poker for pennies.
All right, let's get a
Ready?
There's a ready.
Oh, that was
1, 2. Wait,
Nope.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Oh, that was it. We got it. You missed the first one.
Okay.
yeah. So,
It was kind of like
Okay,
it was like a ba-ba.
So we had a camera die. Dad was not here when we first started,
Right.
And so he doesn't understand. There's a camera behind me. There's a camera behind you,
Right.
And with syncing the cameras with the audio, you have to have the visual clap to
Right.
sync with the
Because we don't have a clacker.
Yeah, see, he doesn't understand the editing thing, so.
So we make
Enough of that. What do you mean I don't understand that?
I'm just saying.
When we were filming, we did that.
Do you know why?
I filmed a number of things in my career. Not as many as you.
Here we
But I
go
mean, this whole
again.
clapping thing, I mean, I know why. Yes, to sync the two cameras together.
Not just the cameras.
The sound.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how do
The
you do
sound
that
and
from
the audio.
editing- How do you do that from the editing perspective?
Oh,
Why? Can you
my.
explain the why?
Do you see? Okay, the humility missing.
I'm
Missing.
just asking a question.
Okay, missing. Okay, like, I'm the star, and she's telling me
know.
why people clap.
I've had to edit around this the entire time.
Oh my word. Okay,
It's
all
been
right.
really hard.
All right. So
Whenever I call him like I need a VO, she's like, I'll do it. I'll do the VO.
I think I had enough. I had enough. Thank you for coming to Uncommon Success. She's not allowed to say anything. Goodbye.
You're yelling in the microphone.
really.
Stop.
You really peaked.
You're gonna really like deafen our listeners.
I'm not as
Goodness.
good as you.
Ah. VO stands for voiceover, by the way, for those of you who don't know what that means.
We were doing something and the camera died. What were we doing? We were talking about
we were
something and then the
talking
camera died. Oh, you were talking about
he wasn't talking, was he?
you were talking about something and then the camera died.
It was important.
Oh,
I know.
The camera died. No, darn.
Yeah.
Oh, darn. So, we should wrap this
Yeah.
podcast
Oh.
up.
Yeah, we're done.
Are you guys on a time crunch here with the podcast?
Well, only because we need to get to editing the rest of
True.
season 1
True.
of Flipping Farms.
Yeah.
After this podcast, I would like to sit down with you, go over our itinerary for the next few days,
Right.
and get what we need to get.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, we've got some cool stuff to film.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Some stuff to find. We got some footage we got to find. We got to dig through things. But yeah, no, we got some. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning through this process that once you think you're done filming, then when the editing starts, you're like, oh, I don't have this to quite
Yeah.
tell the story, or oh, that
So-
didn't come out.
For people who are just stumbling on this, because that also happens on the internet, why don't
Sure.
you let them know where they can find you guys on social media for the show? Because that's always important, right? And
So our podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Buzzsprout, and then time to get the kids off the bus
and right here on the YouTube.
on the YouTube. Okay, so this is this conversation that Gabe and I, and not just Gabe, but people from Tennessee, the Sailors brothers, when they were here, they call different stores like the Aldi, the Walmart.
We need
Yeah.
to wrap this up.
This is like where. So this is going to be like the end.
Yeah, we're on other things. Are we on Facebook?
You're on the
We are
Facebooks.
on and the Instagram.
Twitter? Instagram.
No,
Instagram,
Twitter.
not Twitter. No.
No.
Instagram. That's
It's not even called Twitter anymore. It's called X.
X, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of X, let's go.
Okay.
Exit.
Well, we're going to get going. Thank you, Gabe, for your time
Yeah,
and for
thanks for
coming
having me.
here. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how
Yeah.
the end of Flipping Farms comes out. And
Yeah.
we will announce, so if you're listening to us for the first time, our TV show Flipping Farms is not yet on TV. We are in the pitching stages. We're talking to multiple networks. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have some news to share with you on where to find Flipping Farms. Until next time, we'll see you next week.
All right.